Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. Graham Tuck alongside me. You know him. My name's Brett Wiseman. If you watch the Thunderbirds, you might know me if you tuned into a three-game set last year before the world shut down in late February. Limited attendance here tonight. The Ice Vols are in the house, and their coaches, as usual, spiffed out with the hockey top big orange sweaters. Again, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. What can we look for from the Ice Vols here this evening who come in red hot, Graham?
And red hot is absolutely right. All facets of their game this season have been on point, except for one off game that they had against Liberty a couple of months ago. They come into this game with a 5-1 record, 6 games played. They're 2-0 against High Point, who we just saw lose a heartbreaker to Liberty right before this game. And they went 3-1 in their 4-game stint against Liberty, so they can beat absolutely anybody up against them. Their offense is red hot on the tails of Drew King, the junior from Marietta, Georgia. He's got 8 goals and 3 assists on the season, good for 11 points through just 5 games, over 2 points a game. He's going to be the player to watch for me on Tennessee today. And again for them, Andrzej Buchko, the grad student from Peoria, he's got 10 points on the season. Kieran Ogle also with 11, 5 goals, 6 assists. Neither of them are anything to sneeze at. They are great players for Tennessee, and they're some of the main reasons why they're coming into this game with a great record.
3 guys in double figures point-wise. Andrzej Buchko, the third of them, 7 goals, 3 assists for him, the grad transfer out of Peoria, Illinois. Graham, what are we looking for from the Chanticleers in this one? They fared pretty well in other sports this year. What are they going to do on the ice?
Well, for the Chanticleers and Coastal, it's been a really rough season for them. They come into this game with a 2-9 record through 11 games played. They were able to snatch 2 from Liberty, but beyond that, their schedule has been really tough. They lost 4 other games against Liberty, and they also got swept in the series on the season by the NC State Ice Pack, who are just out of everyone's league at this point, honestly. It's unfair to even compare any club-level team to the Ice Pack, and they also came without a win against the Florida Gulf Coast team that they traveled down to Florida to play against. But in this game, if they want to be able to knock off Tennessee, advance to the semis and the CHF, they've got to rely on the stick of Brendan Eggentoe. He comes into the game, their leader in goals. He's got 5 on the season through 9 games, 2 assists to go along with it, and he's a very clean player, stays out of the penalty box for the most part. 2 penalty minutes on the season, so he is going to be their key if they want to win this one, and it's still a bit of a decision to be made. We'll see who comes out in the crease for the Chanticleers, but whoever it is, either Griffin Williams, number 1, or Trent Lebrecq, number 35, they are going to have to stand really, really tall against this potent Tennessee offense if the Chanticleers want to come out with a dub.
As you said, this is an Ice Vols offense that scores, and they score at will, and they get their goals fast on the rush. This isn't a team like the likes of what we've seen earlier in the day that likes to get the puck deep and cycle things around. This team plays loose, they play fast, and they play hard.
That's absolutely right. The breakaway for Tennessee is nearly unstoppable. If they have an on-man rush, you might as well just go ahead and send your goalie to the bench. It's a done deal. They are so efficient on the offensive side of things, and I'm really excited to see what they're able to do in this game here against Coastal.
Shots, Ice Vols, puck drop moments away. We'll be right back with that for you after this on the High Point University Hockey YouTube. Slight delay before puck drop, ladies and gentlemen. Some ice maintenance going on in the Tennessee attacking zone at the moment. We'll get started as soon as we can here on the High Point University Hockey YouTube. Set for puck drop for the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. Drew King, the captain for the Ice Vols, wins it back. Clay Lamb, part of the top defense pairing for the Vols, in front. It's Schoenbrunn, had it knocked off his stick. Schoenbrunn regains control now. Tried to feed it in front, nobody home. Tried to get it on the back door, cleared out by Coastal. And it's 89 Gordon Gerstinger that's on it as far as center, taken back now by Lamb, who brings it back for his defensive partner Weeks, who sachets his way into the slot, and a shot off the left post. Good chance early, into the slot again, tried to drop it back off for Schoenbrunn, and he couldn't get to it. Behind the net now from Gretzky's office, in front, a shot, they score! That didn't take long. Captain King, 1-0 Volunteers.
What a strong start from the Ice Vols we talked about in the pregame. Their offense is so potent. Just nobody in the ACCHL has been able to match them so far this season. Nobody, not even teams that are playing against weaker competition. It's just undeniable how good this offensive unit is for the Ice Vols. And if I'm speaking objectively, I see no way that they can't make it to at least the final and they possibly win that game.
46 seconds in, the Ice Vols get on the board. Now a shot on goal covered by Lebrec, and he'll hold it with 19:06 to go. Pete Bunch wins the faceoff back. Fanning on the shot there was Ryan Siebert, and it's brought out now as far as center. Now a chance for Coastal. In front of shot, score! It's Justin Folks, 1-1.
What is going on? There's something, ever since the start of that High Point Liberty game that we saw earlier, there has been something in the air here in the Annex, and I'm not against it. The energy that has been in this building since the start of this second game has been phenomenal. And you see it here. Coastal went down early. They get right back. They tie it right back up. This is shaping up to be an incredible game, and I'm so ready to see the end of it, even though we just started.
Already 1-1. We're not even 2 full minutes into this hockey game, and we've already got some fun, and now an icing call with 18:44 left. Face-off one back by Matt Megazzini. Try saying that 3 times fast. He battles for it in the corner. 4-man rugby scrum pulled loose by Matt Scott. Now back to Megazzini in front, taken away now by the goal scorer Folks, and back out. 2-on-2, Coastal enters. Tried the toe drag. It's poked out to the safety of center by Tennessee. Shot back in by Thomas Gentile, and behind the net, Tennessee will change. Up the near side, boards controlled by the D-man for Coastal Carolina. It's Barley. He'll dump it in. controlled by the Ice Vols. John Clark feeds it back to Weeks. Weeks, the 5'10 freshman from nearby Clarksville, Tennessee, plays catch with his defensive partner Lamb, and he'll feather it on out. At the red line, it's feathered back in now by Coastal Carolina, but no pressure as they'll make a change, 2.5 in. Taken now by Nick Carline, drops it back off for Lamb. Lamb skates in, takes the hit to make the play, and gets it in deep. Wired around the boards now, taken by King. Back to the point, Weeks fires one in front, it's loose in the slot, and it's in! They score on the rebound, it's King! Guess who? 2-1.
I have never seen a start to a collegiate hockey game quite like this. Not even 3 minutes in, already 3 goals on the board. Is either of these teams going to stop? I don't think that they can be at this point.
I'm going to run out of throat lozenges at some point here from all the goal calls.
You're telling me I've been on the mic all day. This has got me excited, and it's not even my job to be excited right now.
Wonderful yeoman's work from you as Barley is able to work it in. Kenneth Ferreira tried to feed it on the back door. He's trying to wiggle his way around James Barr, who does a nice job on him. In front of chance in the slot, couldn't get the shot away. Could Jack Ryan, and now the other way comes Tennessee. Carline in front of shot, they score through the 5-hole. It's Gavin Damewood, 3-1 Ice Vols.
What is happening? What is going on? It's already 4 goals. Oh, they're already making a goalie switch. Already Coastal's called to the bench. Goodness gracious, this game is nuts. Already one of the more fun hockey games I've ever seen at any level.
The hockey equivalent of going to the bullpen is in effect. Griffin Williams in net now for the Chanticleers. 3-1 score. Just 3 minutes and 4 seconds into the game. It's a 3-1 lead for Tennessee.
And excuse me, sorry, go ahead, Brett.
Chipped up the near side boards to the safety of center, where it's taken by Eric Paulhart. Tried to feed it in front, and now they get it in deep. First chance for Williams to touch the puck. He plays it behind his net carefully. Dangerous play there, but he makes it anyways. Luke Krupa now gets it as far as center, where it's taken away into the attacking zone now. Tennessee regains control. Paulhart between a couple of bodies, able to wiggle it on out, chip it past the far side boards through center. Coastal regains control, trying to feed it in front there was Folks, who has the goal for Coastal Carolina. Tennessee regains control and clears back across the blue line. Folks now able to wire it into the zone. It's cleared back out. Tennessee playing good structural defense, and then we get an offside call with 15:58 to go.
One thing that I was going to say a couple moments ago, and the action just has not stopped, so I didn't get a chance to put it in. But one thing that we didn't get a chance to mention in the pregame is that the goaltending play from the Chants has not been phenomenal so far this season. Both Williams and Lebrecht over 7 goals against average on the year. But if this was not potentially the last game of the season for the Chants, I don't think we would have seen a switch so early.
Absolutely. It's desperation time, and we get 3 goals in the first 3 minutes of the game. I don't think that's something you have any problem considering on the Chanticleer bench. As a scrum of bodies in the corner, the puck eventually works its way back out. Tennessee has control in their defensive zone as they'll try and thwart the attack here from Coastal Carolina. Fed up to Matt Scott now, tried to work it past the red line. Tipped by a Chanticleer stick back into the offensive zone for them. Tennessee defensive partners play catch. It's 24-23 in orange, and a big hit that time on Donovan, but he's able to get it out as far as center. Corning able to get it in, but not much further than that. Taken back now by Tennessee, deflected off the stick of Josh Compton. Taken away now by Tennessee, a 1-on-2 chance. A shot stopped with the glove. First save for Williams, 14:53 first period.
And if you're Coastal Carolina, that's what you want to see right off the bat. Griffin Williams, despite the fact that Tennessee did not have numbers, that's still a very quality chance for the Ice Vols, and a great save to start Williams' night.
Top line back out. King wins the faceoff. It's in a couple of skates. It works its way free now. Back to the point. It's away from the reach of Meeks. all the way back down to the opposite end of the ice, and Coastal Carolina tries to get an attack going. Taken away, a chance now. Shot on deflected in front of the good stop there from Winkoff.
Baylor Weinkoff has been phenomenal so far this season. He's been exactly what the Ice Vols need in net.
They win the faceoff. Shot hit with leg pad in front of a Tennessee player. Huge hit in the corner, and Nick Carline actually took the better of it. He's got the puck now. Feeds it ahead to King. King, 1-on-2, sachets his way on the backhand, and it's poked away by Williams. Aggressive poke check from the Chanticleer netminder, and now Coastal has iced it with 14:09 to go.
I tell you what, we haven't seen much of Griffin Williams so far, but I can see why they turned to him. He has been very, very solid in the limited action we've seen him in, and if he can keep this up, Coastal might not be out of this one just yet, despite already being down by 2.
Locked in from the start here. Bunch appeared to win the faceoff, but we get a false draw and we'll redo it. About 6 minutes gone, first period, 3-1 Tennessee lead. That shot broke the stick of Gordon Gerstinger, and now it's an advantage for Tennessee. Setting up behind Gretzky's office now is Luke Schoenbrunn to the point. He'll play catch with Bunch. Bunch back now. That shot went wide off the stick of Colin O'Leary. Played back to the point now. Gavin Danewood can't hold on to it. He's hooked down, no call. We stay even strength. Flung into the zone, Tennessee regains control and tries to set something up, and now the door to the inboards has come open. And we'll get a stoppage with 13.5 to go in period 1.
You don't see that every day. But honestly, I'm not surprised the way that these two teams are throwing the body around right now. The big hits have been a theme throughout the day so far, and it's probably something that we'll continue to see as the tournament goes on this weekend.
Magazzini in the center circle to win the faceoff for Tennessee. John Clark tried to feed his way back into the middle, taken away by a couple of Chanticleer sticks. Battle at the top. And Paul Hart able to get it deep, taken away now for the Chanticleers by Krupa. He can't get it out. Good forecheck here from Tennessee. Engo able to maneuver his way into center now. Gains the red line, backhands it in. Hip checked by Paul Hart. In front of deflection off a couple of sticks on a blind backhand pass from Folks, and it almost worked. Stretches away from the stick now on the stretch pass of Clark. And it'll be icing, so Coastal gets an ozone face-off with 12:52 to go, first period.
I love what I'm seeing from Tennessee right now. Even though they're up big, they've got the advantage right now. They're still going hard on the forecheck. And you know why? It's because even if they win, their seeding still has yet to be determined in the semis, depending on how well they play today. So they need to not just win, they need to win big.
Coastal wins the face-off. Shot from the point goes well wide, closer to the Zamboni doors than it was to the net. Coastal keeps it in the zone, though. Krupa pinching now, hauled down, no call. We play on. Reverses Clark now for his defensive partner Paul Hart. They play catch. Into the middle now, dangerous pass, but it worked anyways. It comes out of the zone. Coastal has to touch up. Wired around the back of the net. Control regained now by Joe McAdams. He sends it in back of the goal. Fanning on the clearing attempt was Paul Hart, taken away now. In front of shot wide on the rebound. Loose puck gets cleared out of danger.
That was one of the better chances that Coastal may have today. They might regret not capitalizing on that one if this game gets out of hand.
Shipped as far as the blue line, now taken away. For the moment, it was gloved down by Jack Ryan. He couldn't get any further than that. King, the captain, has one of the goals, almost two on a couple of beautiful moves. Williams has to do things carefully here, and we're going to get a penalty, I believe. I think it's going to be a high stick. or interference, actually.
I think it's going to be goalie interference. It looked like King absolutely barreled into Griffin Williams. He lost his equipment, and if it weren't for the flying stick and glove, I wouldn't have known that.
I thought it was his mask at first, which is why I was concerned that there wasn't a whistle, but pretty much all the equipment but the pads, the mask, and the blocker were left on his body, as Drew King is going to get 2 for the goalie interference call. And the captain in the box, Coastal's first power play chance here, 11:37 left, and we'll take a timeout. Back with more first period action after this on the High Point University Hockey U2. Back here at Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, 11:37 to go, first period. A fast, frantic pace to begin this one. Mr. Graham Tuck, 3-1 lead for Tennessee, but Coastal gets a chance on the power play.
That they do, and this is something that we haven't seen a lot from Coastal so far this season, and it'll be interesting to see when the few games I've seen of Tennessee when they played High Point, their penalty kill was phenomenal. We'll see if they can keep it up here.
Folks win the face-off. Chanticleers keep it in the zone for the moment. And a one-on-one battle is Compton able to work it out. As far as center now is Tennessee thrown into the zone. Schoenbrunn forechecking. Not hard though, as he's on the penalty kill. Making life hard back there for the Chanticleers as they've got 3 bodies, and now finally regain control of the puck. Able to maneuver his way around bunch comes Brady Barnes. Barnes with speed through center. Couple of dangles, couple of dekes behind the net. Now it's Ngo, Ngo sets up from Gretzky's office now. To the glove side of Weinkoff, taken away now. Breakaway opportunity. It's Weeks, he's in, and a blocker saved by Williams.
Put a marker down at this point in time on the game. That's a huge save.
Dropped back Gerstinger. Toe drags and holds on to it. Between his legs, with control, Ferreira. Back for Gerstinger. He and Ferreira play catch. To the point now, Ngo. Back for a shot, deflected high and into the netting. And we'll get a stoppage with 40 seconds left on the penalty.
That was one of the best sets of tic-tac-toe passing that I've seen in the action so far today. We were talking in the pregame about the speed of this Tennessee offense and how great they were when they had odd man rushes. Maybe we should have been talking about that for Coastal. They've looked really fast on the offensive side of the puck right now. And even though they're down, they only have 1 on the board, I wouldn't count them out yet.
Well, they got speed. I don't think they've had much of a chance to show it yet. Good chance here. Lalak tried to feed one in front for a deflection. It's paddled aside to the safety of the glove side by Weinkoff. Could not hold the line. Good, the Chanticleers. Lalak has control of it at his own blue line. And he'll try and set things up now with 18 and now 17 on the penalty. Trying to clear it out are the Volunteers. They cannot. Paul Hart had to go through a couple of bodies. Control at the blue line by Krupa. Krupa's shot had an open net to the side if he could have gotten it to the back door, and he could not. Lalak in front, deflected on, a save. In front, another one. It's away. Drew King open out of the box. Here he comes. Hang on. spectacular glove save by Williams. Highway robbery.
Well, I guess it's safe to say now that we know why they made the substitution. If you looked at the stats this year, you'd see that Griffin Williams, 0-5 record in 5 starts. You wouldn't know it by the way he's playing right now.
I was going to say, he ain't playing like it.
Unbelievable.
Drew King with an absolutely gorgeous chance. Equal to the task was Williams with the glove. He showed it to him and he took it away with the 9 of hearts. Krupa with control now. He'll feather it out of the zone. Here's a chance in front. It's Folks feeding it in front. They score! Brady Barnes, 3-2. The shots are within 1.
Barnes is going to get credit for the goal, but what a pass and what a move that preceded it. Oh my goodness, I didn't catch the number on who got that assist, but that was one of the best breakaway chances, not truly a breakaway, but one of the best odd man rushes I've ever seen at any level.
Somebody from their video department's going to come up here at the intermission and want a piece of that tape, because if you look back at it, you can rewind. Krupa feathered it on the backhand off the boards, which took an incredible amount of touch. Folks, who had the first goal and who dumps the puck in now, had a beautiful, almost like he pressed L1 and R1 at the same time for the drop pass. Couldn't have been in a better spot to Barnes, who put it in the back of the net. Folks tried to feed it back in front to Barnes. Control held at the blue line by Engel. He'll throw it on net, and Weinkauf says, let's hold on a second.
Can we petition to put an extra goal on the board for Coastal for degree of difficulty? That was, I still haven't gotten over how pretty that pass was.
See, those are moves I try to pull off on my controller, and I still can't figure out how to do it.
Unbelievable.
That's video game-like stuff. It is Krupa who gets the secondary assist, and he's, as you said, Graham, he's the one that made the play happen, that started the play. Bit of a delay now. Coastal's trainer, I believe, is being led by one of the, by the head official to the Tennessee bench now.
I think that's Paul Hart that they're taking a look at over there on the bench. I'm not 100% sure.
Then we get a false draw on the faceoff. As Bunch was in the circle, they might kick him. Nope, he'll stay in, just a false draw. Nobody did anything wrong, it would appear. Compton and Bunch. Compton wins it. Feather handed to the back of the net. Compton has control of it. Within 3 checkerboard shoulder pads, and it's taken out now. Coastal regains control at center. Tennessee back with it. Lamb for Weeks. They try and get it out, they can't. Here's a shot on goal. Carefully played away by Weinkauf behind the net, and Tennessee will reset things. Weeks and Lamb play catch. Knocked away at the blue line. Control taken back now by Siebert. Here's Stobianski, who shoots one, and another fantastic stop by Williams.
Yeah, getting the shoulder to it. He's looked so good in the blue paint for the Chants, and it's like I said, before they netted that second goal, I said, don't count them out, and you can see why. With him between the pipes, they're going to be in it, no matter what the deficit. The way he's playing right now, he's looked unstoppable.
I don't know how much more fun we can have than we're having right now. The bar's been set pretty high.
That is very, very true. It's been such a fun-filled day here at the Annex. So many great moments and great plays here so far. And we're only 3 games in. Still 2 days left of action. I could not be more excited.
We love that college club hockey is back, and that hockey's back in the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. The Carolina Thunderbirds, who own this dojo, are in action right now at Port Huron, Michigan. And a shout out to our friend and colleague Drew Blevins for the yeoman's work he's doing, pulling off a full TV broadcast completely by himself. As we've got another bit of a delay here as the Coastal Carolina trainers being led back off the ice after taking a look at, as you said, I believe that was Paul Hart, the 5'10 freshman from Massillon, Ohio.
Yeah, good to see he's okay, though. I'm sure it's nothing too serious. If it was, he would have left the ice. Good to see that he's okay.
Coastal wins the D-zone draw. Maneuvering his way through center, tipped off the stick of a Coastal player, so no, they say icing.
Yeah, I don't think he'd quite gained the red line, but he sure hauled down to the goal line extended in order to try to win that race, just unsuccessful.
Gerstiner appeared to have tipped it, though, just beyond center, or at least off the shaft of his stick, but nonetheless, it's going to be an offensive zone draw for Tennessee. It'll be Hamill to take it. He can't win it. Coastal gains it back now. Jack Ryan tips it in, or tried to, and that's going to be offside, delayed offside. Coastal touches up. 7:40 to go, first period. Gaplin, Max Gaplin dumps it in behind the net, and Griffin Williams just says, let's hang on here a second, and he'll cover the puck with 7:34 to go in the first.
I am really excited to see where both of these teams go in the tournament after this. There's a lot of uncertainty as to what's going to happen after this, but we do know that the winner advances, and for the loser, their fate is up in the air as it stands. And so a very, very important game doesn't even need to be said at this point, and both teams are playing like it is.
Both teams playing hard, playing loose, and playing fast. A couple of toe drags in front. Here's a shot just wide from the high left slot by Justin Stackhouse, and he missed just to the blocker side of Williams as it's wired back in now. Coastal Carolina survives for the moment. Two-man scrum in the corner. Make that 3. Hard battle for it on the end boards. King has it taken away, and here's an opportunity coming back the other way. Barnes just sends one on net. Weinkoff sticks it into the high netting at the 7-minute mark of our first period.
I'm kind of curious as to why Barnes decided to do that. He looked like he had a great chance 2-on-2 in the offensive zone.
And there was a trailer coming, so
there
it was a 3-on-2 that was developing, and he didn't even wait for it to develop.
Not sure that he saw that he had either the trailer or somebody on his left, but nevertheless, he made the play that he did.
Volunteers win the face-off. It's Donovan and Stackhouse who play catch. Fed up the near side boards. Carline tips it in from center. He'll work his way in after it. Deflects the puck. Coastal Carolina trying to work their way out. Here's Folks. He's got 2 points already. The goal and the assist. And doing the splits to stay on side was Brandon Engo. And he'll get some style points for that, but nothing else. Toe drag through the middle. Carlisle, a shot on pad. Save by Williams. To the point now, Donovan. King, that shot deflected off a stick in front. I believe McAdams got it with his shaft, and it's out of play with 6:15 left.
After the high-scoring start to this game, it's kind of died down a little bit, and still, the energy is so high. Offensive chances abundant throughout for both teams. I don't think it's going to stop, and we may see upwards of 15 on the board between the two teams by the time this one's over.
O'Leary in on the forecheck, feeds it to the back door, but his stick was tied up with Stobierski. He couldn't get one on it. Chipped out of the zone now by Coastal. Played carefully back in now by the Volunteers. Under 6 minutes to go, Chanticleers with control. Working in now is Andrew Cole, tried to feed it across for Barley. It was taken away by the Volunteers. To the red line, chipped into the offensive zone. Control taken by Lalak to the safety of center, where Tennessee regains control. It's Lamb with it now. He'll chip it in. Looking for Bunch, who's tied up behind the net with a couple of gray sweaters. Hard yeoman's work in the corner now by Coastal Carolina, chipped out. Could go for icing, no. Weinkoff will play it ever so carefully, just over the stick of Jack Ryan, who was forechecking hard and couldn't get a wood on it. Under 5 to go, first period, 3-2 lead for Tennessee. As you can see, the pace kind of slowing down here a little bit. I thought I was out of breath. It appears everybody else is too.
I didn't think that they could keep it up. I was hoping they could.
Couple of chip plays now. Nice move in. Shot went behind the net as Magazzini did everything right there but score. Here's a chance. Good speed through the neutral zone from Gerstinger, and he will skate to the blue line and feed it back now. In front, hack and whack time, net mouth scramble. It's fed back to the point. Toe drag, Gerstinger, shot blocked. Whacked at a couple of times by a Coastal player and a Tennessee player. Couldn't see the numbers. Nonetheless, it's back into the attacking zone, and both teams will change with 4 minutes left in period one. Tried to feed it up for Carlisle. He's got it. Toe drag in front, across the net mouth, and it's tipped wide. Chip pass now taken away. Carlisle for King. King on the forehand. That shot blocked into oblivion into the netting with 3:47 to go, and we'll get a stoppage. Well, you see the skill of that top line, Graham. It's hard to defend.
No, absolutely, and there's a reason that Drew King is averaging over 2 points a game right now. He's already got the one, and it's only a matter of time until he gets another. Just a phenomenal unit for the Ice Vols to have this season and potentially going forward.
Haven't seen much out of Kieran Ogle, who's tied for the team lead in points. I'm sure we will at some point if it's a point fest like we've been led to believe here. King will win the faceoff to the point now. Damewood tried to feed it in front. Carlisle tried to hit it on the back door. Now tried the wraparound and poked away a couple of times. Carlisle takes a spill now as it's a scrum of bodies in the corner, and out comes Coastal Carolina with numbers. Across the left side wing, a shot through the crease wide. Coastal keeps it in. Engo tried to wire one in front, taken away by the Volunteers to the red line, whacked in by Gentile, and Coastal will change. 3:10 to go. Losing the puck, Engo with a free chance, and making up for the mistake was Donovan by blocking the shot. Action picks back up now. Donovan backhands it out of play, and I believe that's going to be a penalty. Nobody got a piece of it. Maybe not.
It went straight into the penalty box, and I thought it might have almost hit somebody, but it luckily catches glass. And I want to go back. That was nearly a very costly mistake by Donovan, but good on him to make up.
In front, in between his skates, was McAdams. He can't contain control of it. Taking a hard hit, but making the play there was Schoenbrunn as he's able to get it deep. Deflects that pass to Schoenbrunn, gets it back in now. Williams will play it carefully to his left with his stick. Control regained now by Matt Corning behind the net. Taken away by the Volunteers, a shot on, save made with the stick. Held at the point by Weeks. Weeks shoots one wide, looking for the tip in front for Stobierski, who couldn't get a stick on it. 2:15 to go, first period. Corning around the boards. Taken away now, chip pass, trying to go to himself, was Compton. Control regained by the Ice Vols. Feeder pass to Weeks, and he'll just chip it in and wait for the forwards to get past him. Stobierski and Bunch were on the forecheck that time for Tennessee. They get it back in now. Stobierski, forehand to backhand, tries to feed it into the front. On the back door, Stobierski there, the pass deflected. He just couldn't get a good grip on it. The puck wouldn't settle down for him. It was a pinball. To the point now, Weeks tried to feed it to the opposite side to Bunch on the cross-ice pass. Couldn't contain the pinballing puck. It's held in though. It's Clark in front, hack and whack time, in front of the net mouth, and it's cleared away. That's going to be icing on Coastal with 1:15 left.
What a series of saves from Williams. Oh my goodness, I thought for sure that Tennessee was going to get a padding goal on that possession right there, but Williams is standing on his head. There's no other way to put it.
Single-handedly keeping the Chanticleers in this hockey game. It'll be Magazzini to take the draw in the offensive zone for the Ice Vols. He wins it back. Clark to Weeks. He will cross corner dump it. cycle things around here. Something Tennessee doesn't do often, but when they do it, they do it well. Almost taken away, but through the skates is Lamb. Lamb tries to go to the back door, instead shoots it on, and it's poked back through the net mouth wide. Weeks has it. Weeks a shot, and that's saved with the shoulder and held onto by Williams with 51 seconds left in the first.
Coastal just can't get the puck out of the zone right now. They had great pressure on Weinkauf and the Tennessee defense for quite some time, and now the tables have shifted. They've turned, and Tennessee's the one with sustained possession. And if I'm Coastal, I just want to get to the end of this period. You only got 51 seconds left. You just got to kill the time.
Survive. It's March. You got to survive and advance.
Exactly.
Survive and advance to the locker room at this point if you're the Chanticleers. Control regained at the point now. And they'll cycle things around. Damewood tried to find King. He's got it on his backhand. Damewood from the point. Tried to get a tip. It was just wide from Carline. Carline back on it. To the left point. Stobierski lost it. Lost his skate as well, and now Coastal with an opportunity, and they were offside, and they'll have to touch up as what looked to be a good 3-on-1 potentially didn't happen. Here's Schoenbrunn tried to toe drag his way in front. Good stick from a Coastal defender. Weaving his way out. It's Folks with 3, 2, and 1. Shoots and a save at the horn by Weinkauf. How about that to end the first period, Graham?
A couple of great chances for either team. I thought for sure that Tennessee was going to score on one, and then Coastal comes right back and nearly puts it in the net on the other.
At the horn, no less, and that is going to do it for our first period. We'll take a break. We'll be back with some analysis, and then period 2 after this on the High Point University Hockey YouTube channel. back here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. As you may or may not have seen some volunteer flag wielders making their way behind center ice, trying their very best to get into our shot. They did, I think.
I believe they did. I think that's accurate.
So kudos to them. 3 of the 250 limited attendance here this evening at the Fairgrounds Annex. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. Graham, this is an evenly matched game, but it's not nearly the pace that I think even we were expecting.
Well, it's really not, and it's also, I'm going to be honest, coming into this one, I expected Tennessee to run away with it. I knew that Coastal could put up goals when they needed to, but the fact that they are in this game and it's only a 1-goal deficit is almost entirely due to the play of Griffin Williams in the net. Ever since he was brought in off the bench cold turkey for Trent Lebrecq, he has been phenomenal, hasn't let a goal in since he came in. About 16 and a half minutes left in the period, and he's shut out the Ice Vols since then. And if he can keep it up, Coastal's got a real chance.
Absolutely right. I agree. And look, this is one of those games where you kind of throw a lot of things out of the window and it just becomes a skill fest, and that's fun for us to watch. But for both these coaches and both these teams, it becomes ever more important to keep the finer details in mind.
It really does. And in a close game like this, we saw this in the last game between Liberty and High Point. In a close game, it's like I said when I was on the air, it's every little minutia is going to make a difference. Even the smallest of details are going to show when it comes to the final score and all throughout the score sheet. 2
schools in action here with club hockey are also in action in March Madness. Tennessee was upset as a 5 seed by Oregon State, who got their first NCAA tournament win since 1982. And people in Knoxville are throwing things at their televisions right now because I brought that up. Oklahoma State able to survive Liberty, though, the 13th-seeded Liberty Flames. They went on the ice, but not on the hardwood. Tennessee trying to make up for the loss on the hardwood with a win on the ice. Oklahoma State beating Liberty 69-60. Lots of great action in March Madness today. Oral Roberts defeating Ohio State. But we thank you for joining us when we know you could be watching basketball, but you know hockey's a superior sport. Back with the second period after this. Back for period 2 here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. Graham, shot counter even, pretty much. Scoreboard even, sort of. This game, it's tight, but it's also fast.
Fast is the right word to describe it, especially after that start. It's kind of slowed down a little bit as the game has progressed, but especially in the first 5 minutes or so, we already had 4 goals on the board. It's just been an incredible offensive display, and since then the goalies have stepped up, and both teams look really good. If I'm one of the remaining teams in this division, I don't want to play either of these guys right now.
And look, we said it pregame that both these teams like to play loose and they like to play fast, but, you know, I don't think we expected nearly the, jet-like pace to that first period that we saw. Both teams with chance after chance, and you said, even when things started to slow down and there's started to be a little bit more of that cycle game in either attacking zone, both goaltenders really stood up.
They did stand up, and the thing is, we knew it was going to be fast. We didn't know it was going to be that fast, as you said. And even as the scoring has kind of slowed, the scoring pace has been suppressed to some extent, the chances have not slowed down, excuse me. Both teams are still producing offensive scoring chances at a very high rate.
Coastal Carolina wins the draw to begin period 2. It's in on goal, deflected away by Weinkauf. Behind the net, 4, now 5-man scrum for it. Nope, wait, just 4. Apparently I'm colorblind. Behind Gretzky's office now comes Coastal in front into the slot. Taken away, held in at the blue line by the Chanticleers. Folks able to wire it back in, but Tennessee regains control on the fresh sheet of ice to begin period 2. Through the legs, trying to feed it into the zone were the Volunteers. Taken away now, trying to toe drag his way past a couple of defenders was Entgo, but it's poked away, wired in by Coastal Carolina, and they'll get a change. Drew King with it, who had the penalty in the first period. Taken away by the Chanticleers for the moment, but good defensive play by King to regain control of that one. Still not out though. Weeks will chase it back in behind the net. Feeds to his defensive partner Lamb, who will wire it out. Pop-up dump off the near side boards, trying to chip it up the line. There was Lalak, but it was met with a skate of King, and he'll forecheck against Lalak. Lalak chase behind his own goal. Chip pass up the wing. Entgo in with it now, 1-on-2. Tried to feed it deep, good defensive stick there, and Schoenbrunn has it away now, 3-on-2 developing for Tennessee. Schoenbrunn in front, off the pad of Williams. First time he's been tested early in the second period. Paul Hart tried to feed one through the crease on goal, and Williams got a piece of that one with the paddle. And another shot on goal. This one, it appeared from John Clark from the point, and Williams got a piece of that and covers.
That first chance that Schoenbrunn had on the near side going towards the post, he had numbers behind him. I thought that he could have dropped pass back, but I thought the shot that was the pad save by Williams was a little bit questionable.
That's the second time, one on each side now. We've seen a 3-on-2 thwarted, self-inflicted kind of, where you don't see that third guy coming behind, and then the numbers aren't in your favor when you just throw it on goal like that. It's Gerstinger trying to work his way out. Good speed through center. Staying on side. Gerstinger through the legs. Toe drag on the backhand. Had it in his skates. He's able to feather it out front. Shot was blocked from the point. Taken away now by Tennessee. Stobierski was able to get it as far as his own blue line, but offside was Bunch. And we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone with 17.5 to go, period 2. It'll be Megazzini who will win the draw for Coastal Carolina. Worked into the zone now by Lamb. Played back of the net, blowing a tire though was the Coastal defender. It looked like that was Corning. Taken away, here comes Folks. Folks, who has both points for Coastal in this one. In the slot, wrist shot, ducked just wide. A stick goes flying into the air. Not sure whose it was. And now we're going to get a penalty. Maybe. No penalty. Nope, the inboard door just came open again. Oh, somebody's got to nail down that door before tomorrow.
Maybe you ain't kidding.
Maybe we need to send one of our photographer friends down there with a power drill.
Well, JJ's already down there taking pictures. I have a feeling he'd give us a hassle if we asked him to come up and then go back down. That's a lot of walking for him.
No context needed. Face-off win, a save there by a Weinkauf. Fed out of the zone. Tennessee gets it back in their own D zone now as they'll set up and get a change. Coastal changing as well. Tiptoed through the neutral zone. Matt Scott able to get it behind his own net. Megazzini trying to fight off two Chanticleer defenders. He lost his stick in the process. Tries to pick it up as there's a three-man scrum now. It's taken away by the Chants for the moment. Held in though. In front of Chance and a save with the paddle by Williams. Now a 2-on-1 developing the other way. Engo, toe drag, poked away. Another shot on the rebound. It's cleared away. Weeks has it. Forehand to backhand. He'll slowly feed it into a slot to his defensive partner. That's Lamb, who had to save with the stick. Back to the front. Schoenbrunn, a howitzer blocked in front. Back on it, Schoenbrunn. He gets it back in front on the backhand, just wide. Tennessee, good pressure here. Schoenbrunn again on the back door. Couldn't get good wood on it. Weeks chips it past the defender. He pinches. Weeks has it. To the glove side of Williams. Tried to feather it back for Carlisle. 91 in orange. Taken now by Joe McAdams. Almost stolen by Weeks, but it's taken now by Andrew Cole for Coastal, who shoots it on, and a weak shot carefully paddled away by Weinkauf. 15:15 to go, second period, both teams changing. Volunteers get control of it at center, and now taken back by the Chanticleers, and we're going to get, nope, no penalty. Saw the linesman's arm go up, not the referee's. Got to watch for the orange bands there. Ahead now, 2-on-2 developing. It's Carlisle with King. Carlisle into the slot, shoots one high and wide. Out come the Chanticleers. Working his way through a couple of defenders is Jack Ryan. He works his way past King, slides it in front. A toe drag and a shot, stick save by Weinkauf, and out of play.
We came into this one expecting to see high-powered offenses, and that's exactly what we saw when this game started. We didn't know that we were going to subsequently see an epic goalie duel between Williams and Weinkauf. They're both phenomenal right now. There's no other word to describe them.
Their names start with W's, but only one of them's going to come out with one at the end of this one, as a shot was deflected just high and wide of the stick of Weinkauf. Back to the point now, it's Barley. He couldn't get the shot to go. It's worked back into the center zone now, through the neutral zone. Here comes Stobierski. He puts on the brakes. Now a wrist shot, deflected on, save, rebound, poked just wide. Back at the point, control regained. Donovan had a chance at it. He'll wire it behind the net. Here's Pete Bunch. It's a good hockey name. Tried to feed it in front. It's sticked away by Williams. Another pass in front, blocked away by a couple of Chanticleer sticks. Now its control's held at the point. Got a man backdoor. Donovan was cutting. Defended nicely, though, by Coastal Carolina. Held on to by Bunch. He shoots it into the pad of Williams. Taken away now by Coastal for the moment. Not long. Shot on. Another save by Williams from the point. Good pressure from the Volunteers and a good hit along the side, but it's gotten to the safety of center, and Donovan will wire it back in. Clark on it. Bunch now. In front to Clark. tried to feed it, almost deflected it in off the Coastal defender. It's held in at the blue line though. And that shot right into the shoulder of Williams, and he'll cover with 13:11 to go.
I'm fully convinced that this is an NHL caliber goalie wearing Griffin Williams' jersey. If you were to look at his stats, I've said it once already, if you were to look at his stat sheet, you would not expect him to be playing the way that he is right now, but it is the playoffs, it is the tournament, and he's stepping up when his team needs him most.
Sounds like the Buffalo Sabres might need to give him a call.
Yeah,
held in at the point now by Tennessee, backhanded to the side of the net now. Battle for it in the corner. Back to the blue line and wired back around. Coastal trying to work it out here as they've been hemmed in their zone for quite some time. Here we go. Here comes Folks. He's got both points. Sachets his way around. Got a man in front, defended nicely. Back to the point with some spaces. Krupa shot. No! It was deflected wide. It might have caught part of the crossbar. Tennessee trying to wire it out now to the red line, taken back by the Chanticleers. It's Ngo. Ngo a shot, and Weinkauf stops it, and now we get some extracurricular pushing and shoving in front of his goal crease.
You've got to wonder, are we going to see another goal tonight? I don't know what the odds are, but they're not going to be good.
I would say the odds are pretty good.
I don't know.
As good as these goalies are playing, the offense, the chances are there.
The chances are definitely there, but both Williams and Weinkauf have given us no reason to believe that they'll be beaten again.
Somebody watched Yaroslav Halak highlight tapes before this one. Trying to feed one in front that time was Andrew Cole, but it's taken away by the boys in orange, and the ice falls come out. Here comes King. King, his wrist shot was blocked by a stick in front by his opposite number, Krupa. King has it back now. Trying to go on the back door. Schoenbrunn, it leaks through the 5-hole, and they score! Well, there you go. You jinxed him, Graham. Congratulations.
I just like to state that my broadcaster's jinx has never been on the level that it is right now. I should go ahead and say that we're not going to see any more from either side again tonight, and hopefully the goal scoring will continue.
That means I've got about 10 more goals to call, and I won't have any vocal cords left for tomorrow.
There we go.
4-2, the score now, 11:57 left, period 2. Schoenbrunn able to put home the chance through the 5-hole of Williams. Coastal trying to get one back now. Ferreira hard at work behind the goal. In front, off the pipe! And Tennessee regains control. Best chance of the period for Coastal Carolina, the second pipe they've hit. Gerstner, I believe, was the one that got it, and now we've got an injured Volunteer down. They don't have control of the puck yet, though, so no whistle. And now we got a man advantage coming on for the moment for Coastal. A drop pass through the legs, didn't work. Injured Tennessee player, I didn't see the number. He's able to get to the bench, though. His wayward stick is still in the middle of the Thunderbirds logo at center ice. Max Gaplin was the injured Volunteer as a shot on by Itko was stopped by Weinkauf. And now out comes Tennessee. Stretch pass for Bunch off the heel of his stick. Tipped in, no icing. Behind the net, Krupa trying to feed it out. Can't get it out. Wiggled back to the blue line and a shot wide from Lamb. Taken back now by Coastal. Here's Entgo. Entgo with speed. Puts on the brakes in front. Taken away now. A shot well wide. Somebody got a piece of it. Krupa shot it off a skate or a shoulder or something, as he had a good opportunity and some space to work with. Couldn't get it on net, though. Tennessee regains control now. 10-10 to go, second period. Vols lead at 4-2. Taken back by the Chanticleers. It's Folks. He'll get it deep. Folks in on the forecheck. Weeks feeds it off the inboards. It's taken out now, and a 2-on-1 developing if they hurry. And it's offside. Pete Bunch a little too over anxious, and he's not happy about it.
I can't blame him. I want to go back. When Max Galpin hit the ice, there was a turnover in the offensive zone for the Ice Vols, and Coastal Carolina had a 3-on-2 chance while Tennessee was reeling from the line change, and I believe it was Jack Ryan. He was the intended recipient of a drop pass, and he just wasn't looking. Wasted a chance for Coastal.
It was a beautiful drop pass, and if he's looking, that's a beautiful chance. And now in the slot, the puck loose in between a couple of skates. Shot for the point by Lamb, deflected just wide. Lamb tried to gain control at the point. Somebody lost his stick. It was a Coastal player. In front of his own net now is Lalak. He gets it ahead to center is Cole, and he'll get it deep. Pop-up dump attempt, glove down, and that's going to be a hand pass on the Chanticleers, so the face-off will come to the neutral zone. .9:19 to go, 4-2 the score. Ice Vols leading the Chanticleers. The boys from Conway trying to make a comeback against Hockey Top. In on the forecheck are the Chanticleers. It's in on goal, and maybe a bit too conservative, but in a game like this, maybe not. Weinkoff covers with 9:05 left.
He's looked great, Weinkoff has. The Nashville native, 267 goals against on the season. He's
minuscule.
Minuscule, especially for this level of hockey. And given it's only 3 starts, but he is 3-0 on the year. No shutouts, surprisingly, and a sub-900 save percentage. Those numbers shock me the way that he's playing right now.
Absolutely. Chanticleers trying to get back within 1 here after the goal from Schoenbrunn. Here's Carlisle. Top line back out for the Volunteers. Here's King in front, checked off the puck. He looked at the official as if there should have been an interference call. There wasn't. Puck bounces around in the slot, pinballs in between 3, now 4 pairs of skates. Taken out by the Chanticleers, and they might have numbers. Through the neutral zone comes Krupa. Krupa waves his way in off the side of the net. Back in front, tipped just wide by Ferreira. Boy, Luke Krupa gave a couple of orange shirts the 9 of Hearts there.
That one got me up out of my seats, and he didn't even score. Oh, my goodness.
Tennessee regains control now. King gets the red line, backhands it in. Krupa able to feed it back to center, where Gerstner tried to get it deep. It was taken away by Weeks, and then he comes tripped. No call. Yes, wait a minute. Yep, we do get a call. The arm did come up, and Tennessee will go to the power play, and I believe that's going to be Barnes on the trip.
Yep, they're going to get Barnes, and he cannot stay out of the penalty box this season. He almost averages 1 minor penalty every other game, and that's not what you need. If you're already down by 2, you're over halfway through this game, your season's on the line, you've got to play a clean game in order to get back into this one.
Here's another tidbit for you. Drew King, along with being the leading point getter for Tennessee, he's also their leader in penalty minutes, which is odd for somebody with as much skill as him. And that's played with a high stick at center ice. Tennessee will touch it with just 8 seconds gone, and the minor charge to Barnes.
Yeah, Drew King averaging almost 5 penalty minutes per game, and I think that's because a majority of them came in bunches, a 5-minute major
Again,
here.
small sample sizes, which is why a lot of these statistics are inflated, to say the least. Coastal gets an offensive zone draw on the PK. Behind the net, Weeks with it, who drew the penalty after he finessed his way around Barnes. Behind the net, and they'll set things up with 1:40 left on the minor. Carlisle through center. Finesses his way around. Carlisle will now feather it back to the right side wing. Damewood had it, lost it. Chanticleers can't get it out though. Carlisle tried to find somebody on the back door, defended nicely by the Chanticleers. Now space to work with for Tennessee. Damewood to the point. Weeks thought about it. He'll dangle at the point to the left side wing, and that one high and wide off the high glass. Damewood regains control. 1 minute gone in the penalty. Howitzer from the slot. It went wide. Tennessee with control still. 48 seconds. Weeks shoots one on, blocked in front, and Feathered with one hand on the stick nicely by Cole, and a fresh set of killers out for Coastal Carolina. Good play that time by LaLocque to get it out now. 90 seconds gone in the power play. King had it lost in between his skates as it's almost taken away at center. And for some reason, Lamb decided to put on the brakes and drop it back and cycle things when he had numbers again. And now it's cycled back around across the end boards, and we've got a scrum going on in the corner between, I believe that's Paul Hart and Krupa, as the penalty has now expired. No shots on goal for Tennessee on the power play. Deflected in front. Did it go through the 5-hole? No. And Williams gave Drew King a little bit of a shove as he went after it, thinking it was still sitting on the edge of the red line.
I don't know how the Coastal defense is playing the way that they are after the way they started the game and letting so many chances come up for Tennessee. The way that they are shutting down passing lanes, blocking shots, laying the body on the line in order to stop pucks from getting to the net. It's amazing to see, and you can tell they're playing with a sense of urgency that they didn't have when this game started.
5:51 to go. Again, you said it, the desperation factor is on for sure. Tie up on the face-off. It's won by Tennessee. King regains control now. Back to the point. Lamb, a high wrister wide. And Carlisle took a high stick. No call. Weeks feeds one in front through a maze of bodies. It deflects wide of the net. Here's King. King tried to feed it back to Lamb through his legs and out to center. Back for Schoenbrunn, who has the 4th marker of the night for Tennessee. Came just moments into the second period, thanks to your jinx, Graham. Offside is Tennessee, and they'll touch up. Coastal Carolina will dump it as far as their own face-off dot. Almost a giveaway there as Weeks fumbled it around a bit. He gets it back, though. Up comes King now. He's got Carlisle. He delays. Shoots one. Score! A wicked wrister from Captain King. 5-2. Ice Vols.
This one I didn't jinx. I told you guys a couple of periods ago.
If anything, you foretold it.
I did foretell this one. There is a reason that Drew King averages over 2 points a game, and that's his 2nd goal of the contest. Nobody's surprised here in the NX. His 10th of the season in just 6 games. Unbelievable play.
Well, we don't have the ability of replay here. We don't have enough money for that kind of technology. But if you were to go back and look at it, you could see King with that little bit of hesitation on the stick handle, just keeping that puck on a string, as now Tennessee's got it back in front. A shot from the point deflected wide. They're going to keep up the pressure here, no doubt. Foot's on the gas. Shot well wide from the point. Trying to keep it on now. It's Sam Hale. Held in at the line. Back around. 4.5 to go, second period, 5-2 lead for the Vols. And we're going to get a whistle here. I believe it's going to be a penalty. And I believe it's going to be on Tennessee. For what I don't know, Graham, I don't know what you saw on that one. I didn't see anything deliberate.
It looks like it's going to be a delay of game. Or possibly a bench minor.
Probably going to be too many men, I would believe. Megazzini's going to take the minor. So Coastal gets a power play opportunity with 4:24 left in the second. Folks wins the faceoff. Back to the point now. It's Ngo. Ngo hesitates, shoots one wide. Somebody got a piece of it. And it deflects its way back out to center. As now Compton will reset things. Trying to fight off Bunch, and he's going to get called for a deliberate cross-check. And Bunch is giving him the business on it.
If you're watching at home, you're going to want to come back to this particular penalty at the end of this one. This has the potential to be a massive turning point in this game. Coastal on the power play has the chance to come back within 2. The lead was just extended by Tennessee, and an easy penalty to avoid. It's just no reason to make that play, and Compton throws the cross-check out there anyway, right in front of a linesman. Just a
right in front of the official, right in front of the orange band.
A dumb mistake.
The Magazzini's penalty was for a check from behind. And then Compton gets the not so intelligent cross check, as we'll go 4-on-4 here. And then Tennessee will get a power play momentarily. Shot in front now by Schoenbrunn, who has the 4th marker, as we told you earlier in the period. Vols with control. At the point, it's Weeks. Weeks trying to maneuver his way into the slot. Middle was taken away well by Coastal Carolina. And now playing behind the net, pinballing it out of the zone are the Chanticleers. 3:18 to go. 50 seconds left in the minor to Magazzini for the check from behind. So that will be how long before Tennessee gets their opportunity on the power play. We're 4-on-4 for another 40 seconds. Entgo behind the net. Gentile back to Entgo. They play catch. He tried to bank it in, and it's stuck on the back of the netting, and oh boy, look out. We've got some extracurricular activity here.
Yeah, you can't do that. not in the college level. They're gonna. If you were playing, this was a Thunderbirds game.
If this was the FPHL, you could certainly do that.
Yes, without a penalty or even worrying about receiving a penalty. But here at this level, you not only run the risk of going to the box for getting into a scrum like that after the play,
for ejection,
and suspension. Precisely.
If you make your way to tomorrow. Something you can't do at the club level, which is why the officials tend to break things up a lot more than a professional official would. Even at NCAA Frozen 4 level, that you'll see that happen. Still 4-on-4 for another 25 seconds. In come the Volunteers. Blown up on the play was Carlisle as he tried to finesse his way through 2 players. Whacked into the zone now by McAdams as he had the red line. Trying the backhand pass there was Cole, but he couldn't get a handle on it. Taken away now, Carlisle. He's got numbers. Carlisle hesitates, shoots one, and the glove stopped by Williams. Taken away at center, Meganese out of the box, 13-12 on the power play for Tennessee. Not long, but a power play nonetheless. Scrum behind the net, as Kenneth Ferreira does a fantastic job killing off those remaining 10 seconds. And we're finally back to even strength with under 2 minutes to go in the second. Here's King. King drops it back off. Carlisle on the back door, tried to find Donovan. It was deflected. Donovan tried to feed it back through the net mouth. It was deflected high. Back to the point. Lamb. That's deflected on and into the netting. And we'll get a stoppage with 1:42 left.
Like we said in the intermission, Brett, while the scoring may have slowed down just a little bit,
the pace has not.
The pace has not, and the chances have not. Both of these teams getting quality chances in the last, I'd say, 10 minutes or so. The ice has shifted in Tennessee's favor more so than the Chants, but that does not mean that they're not getting quality chances in the offensive zone.
Absolutely. They've ranked 2 posts in this period on top of that, so, if anything, it could be 5-4 at this point. Bunch, who drew the cross-checking penalty moments ago, has it between his legs, tried to feed it back to the point, and now Paul Hart will dump it back in. Under a minute and a half to go in our second period. Gerstner forechecking on Paul Hart. Able to deflect the puck away. Now Coastal has it. Paul Hart does a nice job of getting a shin pad on it, and now out come the Ice Vols. Paul Hart, 3-on-2. Tried to feed it on the back door to Stobierski, who couldn't get a handle on it, and now flip dumped out to center, where Bunch will control and dump it back in with under a minute to go. Controlled by the Chanticleers. Funky bounce off the inboards, and Gerstner able to deflected just out of the reach of Bunch. As now out come the Chanticleers. They try to get a forecheck going here late. They had that chance at the end of the first period in the save at the horn. That's dumped back in now, and the Chants and Vols both will change with half a minute to go in the second. Worked back to center by Coastal Carolina now. Here comes Folks. Folks on the forehand, on the backhand. Couple of dangles. Tried to feed it into the slot. Instead, it deflects to the point. In front, deflected just wide. Got a piece of it and almost put it in. Chance now for the Volunteers. King works his way around, had the wraparound. Was it there? In the slot, Carlisle score at the buzzer! What a goal to end the second.
Oh, it is March. It is March Madness. And let's be honest, are you surprised to see a buzzer beater?
We had to have one, didn't we? We had to have one. It's March.
We were robbed of one at the end of the first period, so no surprise. They get us right back. Do us a favor, give us one at the end of the second.
There's a discussion now. This might not count. I don't know what's the discussion is. Coastal was hanging out at their bench for a second. Now both teams are heading down their respective tunnels, and there's some kind of discussion going on with the referees at center ice, and now both captains are being brought over to discuss things a bit. As we'll keep it here until we figure out what happens to see if that goal counts.
Well, the official that was on the goal line extended had the best view of that, and he signaled good goal. I don't know how either of the other ones are going to be able to overturn it, and they're just now announcing it, and they've put it up on the scoreboard. I believe the goal is going to count.
The goal should count. They've announced it now, and head coach for Coastal none too pleased with the call. I think he thought the clock had expired, but nonetheless, it's 6-2 as we head to the second intermission. A bit of analysis, and then we'll get you to third. Ice Vols, they score 3 times in that second period to take a 6-2 lead. Back with more after this on the High Point University Hockey YouTube. Back here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuckin. Graham, you've got a breaking scheduling development to tell us here as we continue the weekend here at the ACCHL tournament.
Yes, I do, and it is a big one. So for fans of teams that don't play until tomorrow, if you are for some reason watching this Division III game, good on you for tuning in. Exactly, why wouldn't you? It's college hockey, it's free. Tomorrow scheduled for 12:30 p.m. puck drop was supposed to be Virginia Tech against Elon for the de facto semifinal game in the Division II tournament, and the winner would play NC State. Elon has been unable to travel for whatever reason, and so Virginia Tech has automatically advanced to the Division II final on Sunday at 4 p.m. against NC State Ice Pack. So that game is in stone. It will be Sunday at 4 p.m. yet again. So tomorrow, taking the place at the 12:30 slot, it will be High Point University against whoever ends up losing this contest between the Chanticleers and the Ice Vols. If the score holds, it will be High Point versus Coastal tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. And then following that, at the 3 o'clock slot, it will still be the Virginia Tech women against the NC State women. That game, very much looking forward to it. Always a pleasure to watch women's hockey here at the Annex, or anywhere for that matter. And then, following that game, it will be the first of 2 Division III semifinals. So here's how this will work. The winner of High Point and Coastal will get a second life in the fight to go to nationals. And in the semifinal, they cannot play the team that they played against today. So High Point cannot play Liberty, and Coastal cannot play Tennessee if they happen to win tomorrow at 12:30. If this stands, Tennessee will be the 1 seed moving into the 6 o'clock game in the first semifinal tomorrow night. Those semifinals will be at 6 and 9. If this score holds and Coastal Carolina falls to Tennessee in this game, High Point will play Coastal, and if High Point wins that game, they will play Tennessee at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. East Carolina and Liberty will play at 9. If Coastal beats High Point tomorrow at 12:30 p.m., they will play ECU tomorrow at 6 p.m., and then Tennessee and Liberty will play tomorrow at 9 p.m. So a lot of matchups still to be decided. We won't know all of them until the 12:30 p.m. game tomorrow is over. But all of that being said, we have got a weekend of exciting hockey ahead of us, and unless you're the Radford Highlanders, you're still in it, and you can still go to Natties.
That you can. Hold on, I got to stop my head from spinning for a second because that was very confusing.
I can't blame you, but I worded it absolutely the best I could. It's a very confusing situation. A lot of still TBD going on. The point is, the winner of this game goes to Natties. The loser of this game plays High Point tomorrow at 12:30. The winner of that
another
game,
chance to go to the Nationals.
Exactly,
right.
And the winner of that game at 12:30 also goes to Natties.
So win or lose, let me confirm this. Win or lose,
both of these teams are still alive.
Okay, gotcha.
Correct. So neither team's season will end tonight. Whether Tennessee holds on to win and Coastal takes the loss, or Coastal makes a miraculous comeback and Tennessee drops the game. Neither of them will be done by the end of the night, and both teams will play at some point tomorrow.
Well, let's talk about the chance for a miraculous comeback here. When you have a goal like that, literally a buzzer-beating goal, what does the mindset have to be for the Chanticleers here, who obviously weren't pleased that still counted, but you've got to shake it off. You've got 20 minutes left to try and make up at least a 4-goal deficit, if not more than that.
Yeah, you do. And Coastal, they haven't been a great goal-scoring team all season long. I mean, their team leader in goals only has 5 on the year through 11 games. And that's no slight to Brendan Engto. He's a great offensive player. But the fact of the matter is that Coastal's offense hasn't been conducted well throughout the course of the season, hasn't been conducive to scoring high amounts of goals. So they have got to triple their goal output if they want to even force overtime in this one tonight, and they've only got 20 minutes to do so. You need to have a clean slate. You need to act like that buzzer beater never even happened. Because on the flip, it's a game of inches. I know that's football, but it really is, because
it's a game of seconds at that point.
Precisely, because
it's unlike in basketball, it's not that you have to get the shot off in time. It has to cross the goal line before the horn.
It does, and an absolute ripper to the back of the net by Tennessee. Give them credit. But at the end of the first, Coastal was on the other end, and they were just seconds away from doing the same. So very, very close on both sides, and Coastal's not down and out yet.
Vols win the face-off. It's taken back into their defensive zone now. Volunteers trying to get a forecheck going. Carlisle shouldered off of it. Back come the Chanticleers. Trying to get some energy going to begin this third period. They trail by 4. And it's Folks throwing the body around. Ahead now, Carlisle with speed, poked away. Uh-oh, King tried to feed it back for Carlisle. A diving block there by a Coastal defender, and now out come the Chanticleers. Here's Entgro. Entgro tried to dangle his way around a defender, defended the way nicely. He regains control of it though. Tried to wrist one, deflected off the stick of Schoenbrunn out of play. Just 49 seconds into our third period. Vols have control now. Again, Chanticleers just trying to get something going here, and with no knowledge that he still had a guy in the zone, LeLocq brings it in offside.
It's just the level of awareness that Coastal has not had in this one. Remember, Galpin hit the ice around the center faceoff circle and went down with an injury. Coastal gathered the puck in the defensive zone, had a 3-on-2 the other way while Tennessee was reeling, and just not looking for the pass was Jack Ryan. That could have easily been a goal.
He was the third guy.
Precisely. That could have been a very simple goal for the Chanticleers. Instead, they still haven't scored since the first period, and it's these little mental mistakes. We talked about it during the first intermission. It's these little minutia that are going to come back to bite the Chanticleers in the end.
Even in that second period, is that I thought would go for icing, but it does not, as it's worked way back out to center now, and a scrum for it. You know, you go back to that second period, we talked about it when it happened that it could be a turning point. Coastal was on that power play, and you had the cross-checking penalty.
That ended it very quickly.
Out of frustration, really, as that one's feathered back in. That should be icing, and it is, with 18:06 left in regulation. But as I was saying, you can put that, and you said it at the time, mark that moment down, because Coastal had a couple of chances early on that power play. Tennessee cleared it. Bunch went in on the forecheck. They didn't like it. Out of frustration, a heavy cross-check right in front of the official, and you just can't do that. It's not a smart play.
It's mindless. There's no other way to describe it.
Volunteers with control now. Again, they rang 2 pipes, did Coastal Carolina in that second period too, and we're going to get a penalty here as the Coastal players down, took a pretty hard hit, and they're going to get, I believe, Paul Hart's being ushered aside away from everybody else. I don't know if he's going to get the penalty. Actually, I believe they're taking him out of the game. He's being ushered off the ice by the official. The arm of the referee is still up. The linesman's ushering him off the ice. This might be a major.
They're having a conversation at the scores table. This is equally, if not bigger, moment than to that cross-check penalty that Joshua Compton took. This could change the game.
It appeared it was Logan Westerfer that took the hit on the near side boards at the Tennessee attacking blue line.
Somehow we're playing, well, it looked like we were going to play 5-on-5. Nobody's in the box.
And it is a major.
Yes, a major to Paul Hart. Nobody's in the box to serve the penalty as of yet.
So it is a 5-minute major and a game misconduct to Paul Hart for spearing the call. And a 5-minute continuous power play for the Chanticleers. Shades of San Jose and Vegas in 19. Scramble in front, they score! There's one!
Only 11 seconds, that's all it took. It was so obvious that this could have been a very, very large momentum shift in this game, and it did. It took no time at all.
It's going to be Folks, who now has all 3 points on the evening for Coastal Carolina. 11 seconds into the power play. It's 6-3.
Natural hat trick.
Well, he's only got 2 goals. He had the assist on the other one. Not quite yet, but he's still going to be out there. And again, a continuous 5-minute power play. Those 5 minutes must expire before the man serving the penalty to Paul Hart can exit the box. Engro feeds it cross ice. Ferreira in shot. Rebound, score! Guess who? It's Vols. 6-4. Oh boy.
I didn't jinx that one. Natural hat trick, there it is.
Will snipe Selly. Justin Folks has the hat trick as he snipes it over the blocker side of Weinkauf. And there's not even a full minute gone and already 2 on the board.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. This is turning into one heck of a game.
Again, there's not even a full minute gone. There's 4:15 left on the major, and again, that has to expire. Oh, this is San Jose Vegas 19. It's a carbon copy as it's dumped in by the Chanticleers. Behind the net, a wraparound chance, blocked away in front, and now out come the Volunteers as they'll try and get some kind of semblance of an attack going shorthanded here. Schoenbrunn shoots one wide. Controlled at center and dumped back in. Took a wild bounce. Schoenbrunn threw a couple of bodies, tried to wiggle it in front, and it's poked back to center now where Donovan has it. Donovan will fire it all the way down on goal where it's settled down by Williams with 3.5 to go. As you said, it could be game changing, and it looks like, at least for right now, it's going to do some sort of that, as that's a delayed offside. Postal did touch it. The whistle came later than the touch, and the faceoff will come to the neutral zone.
I got to tell you, you know who's loving this right now? East Carolina.
Absolutely.
Because,
glad you brought that up.
Yes, a loss to Tennessee would catapult East Carolina to the top of the standings moving into tomorrow, and they would love to be in that position moving forward.
Max Gaplin is the ice fall that's serving the penalty now with 3:12 to go on it. To Paul Hart again. Paul Hart ejected from the hockey game. 5-minute major for spearing, and then the 10-minute game misconduct. As Folks works his way in, it's wired out, and Tennessee will get fresh killers on the ice with 2:54 left on the major. It's Engro with it. Drops it off to Ferreira. Engro. Cross ice Compton. He tried to dump it in. King has it for Tennessee. And it's backhanded up and out by Gavin Damewood. 2.5 to go. Tennessee surviving for the moment. They've already given up 2, but if that's all you give up on this, it might not be the worst thing in the world. As a delayed offside coming. Shantz will touch up. 2:18 left in the major. Folks chases after it. Damewood. Forehand backhand. Takes a hard hit. Can't get it out. Held it at the point by Compton. Compton's shot was blocked. It's held in just barely at the point by Engro, who shoots one through a maze of bodies wide. Compton trying to regain control of it. Tried to feed it into the slot. Engro rips one. Shot safe. Rebound score! On the loose change, it's Gordon Gerstner, 6-5. The shots are back in it.
This is unbelievable. 3 goals on 1 power play, and they're not done yet. I cannot believe what is happening right now.
As I said, it is a carbon copy of San Jose Vegas Game 7 first round 2019. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what happened. Minute 51 left in the major. The Shants have scored 3, and they've got the puck back in their attacking zone with a chance to tie it. Still on the man advantage. On the wraparound in front. Here's a shot for the point, deflected in front. Couldn't get a shot away. Now fanning on another opportunity is Cole. It's still loose in front. Cole regains control. Back of the net now. Krupa, Cole in front, save Weinkoff, rebound tipped wide. Krupa reverses it for the lock, in front, a shot, that's blocked in front. I couldn't tell who it looked like. Stobierski got a piece of it. Now here's a chance and a save with the blocker by Weinkoff. It's fast and furious. 1 minute left on the major. Blocked by Carlisle big time, and it finally comes out of the zone.
Carline looks like he blew a skate.
He blew a tire and still blocked the shot. At the red line, it's Bunch. He'll handle it now. Ever so carefully, it's wired out to center. Cole fires it back in on goal. Patted and then paddled to the side of the net where Tennessee regains control. Schoenbrunn stays onside with now half a minute left in the major. This game has turned, well, not exactly a carbon copy of San Jose Vegas, because that would mean that Coastal would have tied the game and then taken the lead subsequently. Still a chance to do so. Gerstner. He'll feed it behind the goal to Folks. Back to the point. Folks gets it back. Got a man in front there waiting on it. Backdoor pass. Couldn't get it to him. Held it at the point. 3, 2, and 1. The penalty over. 3 goals and God knows how many shots on the 5-minute power play for the Chanticleers, and they're back in it. Coastal with an opportunity to break out, thwarted by the Ice Vols. Held in at the line, no, offside is the call, delayed. So Tennessee will regain control. It's Dame Wood who has it now. Beats it up to Bunch. Bunch ever so carefully tips it in. 12:22 to go. 6-5 the score. This game has turned on its head. Held in at the blue line, dumped in deep by Magazzini. Almost stolen in the slot and now taken away by the Chanticleers, who have new life. It's Cole. Cole, a wrister glove save. Weinkoff, and he'll cover.
This game is gonna come down to the wire. I don't know what to tell you I expected coming into tonight. I can promise you, it is not this.
Not at all. And as you said, that penalty was going to change the game.
It certainly did.
You foretold 2 things tonight and jinxed one of them. So the foretell to jinx ratio, 2-1 in favor of Graham Tuck.
In favor, I don't know if I'd put it that way.
Here's a shot on it, deflected! It went off the glove of Weinkoff and into the net! The game is tied! Thomas Gentle! Oh my goodness! What in the world is going on? Weinkoff went for the fancy glove stop and he completely whiffed on it.
My jaw is on the floor. And there's still so much time left. Coastal has all the momentum in the world.
Now we got a discussion. I don't know what this. Oh, yeah, we got a timeout. It's immediate timeout time. I wondered what was happening.
I'm so frazzled, I missed it.
I have completely lost the ability to think clearly at this point. So we're going to take a break, and I'm going to try and find some throat lozenges and some Tylenol to try and get through the rest of this game. 6-6, 11:59 to go, third period, or I should say regulation at this point. The game is tied. We'll be back after this. Back at center ice, the face-off after the tying goal, 11:55 left. It's 6-6, 4 goals in just a matter of minutes, 3 of which came on the 5-minute major man advantage, and then shortly after it expired, Coastal Carolina ties the game. Unbelievable stuff late on a Friday night here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. Knowles through center, weaves his way inside, trying to fight off the check. Feathers it behind the net now, where it's Compton fighting for it, taken away by the Ice Vols. Tried the stretch pass for Carlisle, and it was tipped away nicely, and now feathered in the zone from the red line. King, with his opposite number, fighting for it. Folks tips it free out to the safety of center. Carlisle looked offside. It's onside for the moment. In the slot, having it poked away, was Stobierski, and out come the Chanticleers, but not for long. Stobierski has control of it after a collision at center ice between, it looked like Lamb and then a Coastal player. Couldn't get the number. It's hard to see the numbers on those gray sweaters. Weeks now. Bunch in. Across the blue line. Puts on the brakes. Tried to feather it into the slot. Checked away nicely. Here's a chance on the rebound. A couple of beautiful stops. Hack and whack time. And the puck is free. But the whistle had blown. And they're going to be, I believe, a penalty. The arm of the referee is up.
Oh, no.
Somebody's down. It's Williams, the goaltender, who got bowled over, it looked like. But they're going to get Thomas Gentle, who scored the tying goal for the cross-check, who's pleading his case to the official to no avail.
Let's take a moment to talk about what this game is going to mean going forward, okay? So, for one thing, Coastal has all the momentum in the world right now. If they manage to let Tennessee get back in the lead and let this game slip, they're going to be deflated tomorrow morning if they have to play at 12:30. On the flip side, Tennessee's blown a 4-goal lead. They were up 6-2 entering the third. If they lose this game, they are going to be deflated in the morning.
Well, I said in the intermission, by some miracle, right? There's your miracle. On goal, Williams makes the save. Dame Wood not testing him much there. Williams, if anything, has been nothing short of spectacular to keep Coastal in it. It very well could be double digits on the board for Tennessee at this point.
We thought we were spoiled with the game we got between High Point and Liberty. We didn't know we were going to get this in return.
Dame Wood above the left faceoff dot. Low slot to King. Back to the point, Dame Wood. Dame Wood, a wrister, blocked nicely. Gerstner got his shin pad on it. Gerstner now forechecking there and made Dame Wood lose control of it. In comes King, the captain. Tried to feed it across the bunch, who gains control of it. Entgo knocks him off the puck. Entgo able to clear it out nicely. He was sandwiched in between two orange sweatered forecheckers, able to get it out, and now Bunch is offside. Boy, Tennessee just looks all kinds of discombobulated right now.
And I don't know, I don't think you can see it on your screens right now, but something to note, you'll never guess who has come out and is watching the end of this game on the far side corner to our left. East Carolina is behind the glass, fully intent on seeing the end of this one and knowing what their fate for tomorrow is going to be.
There's a handful of guys, yes, as you said, to our left here, where their locker room was. Again, each team kind of has their own locker room here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. Here's Weeks moving in. That shot blocked. He tried to weave his way around. Corning got a leg on it. Trying to feed it back to the point, and Stobierski could not handle it. 45 seconds left on the penalty. 6-6 to score, 9 minutes left in regulation. Here comes Lamb. Lamb throws on the brakes. Stick handles, throws it behind the net. Gobierski chasing. Back to the point, it's Weeks. D to D. He'll play catch with Lamb. Back to Lamb, a howitzer from the point blocked. Now to King, left slot, tried to feed it back door through a maze of bodies in front, and we get a stoppage as Williams held onto it, and a cross check from behind, but I don't think it got called.
I saw the official scolding, I believe it was Corning, who put the cross check on, but I never saw an arm go up.
Compton was the one, I believe, that threw the shoulder, or the wrist, I should say.
A lot of shoving going around down there, no doubt about it.
And that's one of those net mouth scrambles that, you know, you see where it just becomes hack and whack time, but the hack and whack has to be with the equipment, not the hands. 18 seconds left on the penalty, 8:44 left in regulation. Ice Vols win the faceoff. Magazzini, stick handles it, and it's cleared out.
Coastal is buzzing.
7, 6, and 5. And a huge hit to kill off the rest of the penalty by Joe McAdams. What a job by the Coastal Killers. Through the neutral zone, here come the Ice Vols. On the back door in front, it's loose. In the slot, a maze of bodies, and away comes Fulks, a 2-on-1. He'll shoot one, a diving block made by Weeks. And Fulks is down. He got tripped up by Weeks, who by no fault of his own, that's not a penalty because he made a play on the puck. But Weeks went spiraling into the end boards, and Fulks, that's not good. He's got 3 of the 3 points tonight. He's got 3 of the 6 goals. At the 8-minute mark, he'll head to the bench and get some attention, and hopefully for Coastal Carolina and for the entertainment value at the very least, will stay in this hockey game. Neutral zone draw. Ferreira wins it back for Coastal. It's dumped in. Lalak feeds it behind the net. Lamb able to work the puck free and maneuver up through the neutral zone. Lamb stick handles around a couple of Chanticleers behind the net. Williams got a stick on it but didn't get control of it. And now here come the Volunteers on the forecheck. 7.5 to go now. Battle for it at center. It's in between a couple of legs. Here's Stobierski. Cross ice to Bunch. Bunch had it knocked away. Back on it though. Numbers for the Volunteers. Stobierski tried to bank it in, and a stop on the doorstep. Colin O'Leary was all alone in the blue paint, and Williams said no.
He couldn't cover, but he didn't let up a rebound either. That's been the key for Griffin Williams so far tonight. He has let no second chances go to the Ice Vols, and it is paying enormous dividends for this Chanticleers team.
7:17 left, regulation, 6-6 the score. Offensive zone draw for the Ice Vols. This is one wild game. We thank you for joining us here on the High Point University Hockey YouTube, where games will be all weekend. Worked out now by the Chanticleers. Numbers if they want it. Shot off the crossbar. What looked like a harmless wrister from the point hit the crossbar. It had eyes. Engro tried to feed it up. Fulks is back out there, so that's good news for Coastal Carolina. He's in on the forecheck. Bird up to Bunch. Again, Tennessee's down a defenseman now, so they have to go with 5D, as Paul Hart's been ejected from the hockey game. Loose in front, and the net comes off its moorings after a dizzy of opportunity in front. I think it was Schoenbrunn who had the opportunity on the doorstep, and then Williams got blindsided. I couldn't tell if it was his own man, if it was friendly fire. There was a lot of action in front of that net, but we get a stoppage with 6:29 left.
And as this game winds down, I'm going to tell you, this is speaking purely as a fan of incredible hockey. I am rooting for the goalie matchup between Griffin Williams and Eric Smith, who looked phenomenal for High Point today, to happen at some point this weekend. No matter what games it happens in, that is something that if we don't see during the course of this tournament, we are going to be robbed of a phenomenal matchup.
King won the faceoff, but it's Fulks away with it. Fulks is in. He couldn't get the shot away. He puts on the brakes, defended nicely. Uh-oh. Here's Edgrow. Shot wide. Had a space in the slot. And Tennessee survives for the moment. Poked away at the blue line. Control regained, though, by the Volunteers. Out they come. Blowing a tire was Fulks. And now he checked hard into the boards. No call. In comes Coastal Carolina, and it's going to be a delayed penalty on the Volunteers.
Oh, this is not pretty at this point. Oh, my goodness. And after the play, Weeks took a man down. It looked like it was Ryan Barley who was thrown to the ice after Weeks is already on his way to the box.
It was some kind of an obstruction call. I couldn't tell if the signal was a hook from the official, but it looked like it.
And I'm not sure if you can hear at home watching on YouTube, the team, almost the team that's traveled, the fans of Tennessee that are in front of us, they were none too happy with the no call that happened in front of Coastal Carolina's bench. I like that. I like letting that go.
Absolutely. It was a clean hit.
It was a clean hit, and then the player that was on the ice took a man down while he was on the ground. Just letting the teams play, that call could have gone either way. Better to call neither of them than both of them, in my opinion.
They're going to get Weeks for a slash. 5:52 left, and Coastal with a power play. Oh, boy. And look, I kind of lost track of where things were because I was more, the large amount of Tennessee fans that are in the building kind of made the assumption that there was going to be a penalty called on it, but no. Loose in front, shot just wide by Krupa, who's in on the forecheck. Cleared out with some effervescence by the Volunteers. And they've made it a 4-minute slashing penalty. Oh boy. Well, there's 3.5 on it. What would have been 1.5. I don't know if it drew blood, what it was, but it's a double minor. So 4 minutes to kill.
I think what may have happened is he was called for the slash, and then on his way to the box when he took a man down, he got called for that one as well.
That could be. In the slot, a wrist shot stopped by Weinkauf. Entgo with the opportunity as he dangled around a couple of defenders. And we got a Coastal player heading off the ice. It's Krupa, who is heading immediately to the training table. Looks to be in some lower body discomfort.
And I want to make a note. As we mentioned earlier, neither team is done if they lose this game. And for Paul Hart, I would be very shocked if he sees the ice for the Ice Falls tomorrow. As a member of High Point's broadcasting crew throughout the season, we've seen their 2 games with Tennessee. This is the 3rd game that I personally have seen where Paul Hart has been tossed. Both of the games against High Point and now this one, all in crucial times.
That would have to be taken into consideration. A backdoor feed not there. They're looking for Ferreira. Here's a shot from the point, just high, missed the crossbar. Coastal with control. 2:50 to go. Entgo. Backdoor feed, just wide. That time they got it. They just didn't convert. He is camped out. Entgo, a howitzer, looked for the deflection. It's blocked. And away comes Bunch. Bunch 1-on-2. He's shouldered away. Entgo lost a glove in the process, and we're going to get a penalty on Entgo, I believe, for interference.
What is going on?
A lot of the Tennessee fans wanted a little bit more than 2, but it didn't look like anything more than he shouldered the guy without the puck to me. But
I think that's the 6-2 lead that's gone talking.
One would surmise. So 2 minutes up for Entgo for the interference penalty.
And here's the important thing to note, that even if no goals are scored, Coastal will still have a brief power play at the conclusion of this 2 minutes if no goals are scored.
Correct. There's still a 26-second discrepancy between the two penalties. Shot in front, stopped by Williams. Hack and whack time. Williams doesn't want any part of it.
And I apologize, I misspoke. Even if a goal is scored to give one team the lead, there will still be a power play for Coastal at the end of it for a brief 26-second period, excuse me. So that's going to be their prime opportunity once their man comes out of the box. That's Engto. Once Engto exits the box, they're going to have to get on top of things.
King wins the faceoff. We're 4-on-4 until that 26-second discrepancy evens itself out. Folks almost blew a tire, instead comes through center, gets knocked down, not by his own skate, but by the defense of Tennessee. 1-on-2 in the boards in the corner, good work by Cole. Tennessee regains control. Cole still working hard. Absolutely dusted off the puck there by Damewood, and he comes in. Damewood stick handles his way into the slot, couldn't get a shot on goal. Here comes Folks. That shot deflected wide. Folks behind the net, fed in the front, they score! They score! They score! The Chanticleers have taken the lead! It's Kenneth Ferreira! It's 7-6 Coastal with 3:25 left in regulation.
Oh my gosh. And they've still got a power play once this expires. That's insane. Coastal still has the opportunity to extend this lead. And I'm in disbelief that Weinkauf is still in the crease for Tennessee.
Well, I don't know if it's as much on him as it is the fact that they've been shorthanded pretty much every time. You know, Coastal's been able to get on the board, but give Coastal credit, they've taken advantage, but I wouldn't go as far as to say it's Weinkauf's fault.
I'm not faulting it on him. It's nobody's fault in particular. I mean, you've got to question the spearing penalty to Paul Hart, but beyond that, there's no one player in particular that you can blame for this. Coastal has just turned it on. They've hit another level once that penalty was assessed to 44 in orange, and since then, it's just been a completely different hockey game than we saw in the first 40 minutes.
A switch was flipped, that's for sure. We're still 4-on-4. There's going to be a 26-second man advantage for Coastal Carolina when Entgo comes out of the box. Taken away now by the Ice Vols. It's Lamb. Lamb drops it back off. Schoenbrunn a shot, blockered aside by Williams. Lamb on the rebound. Williams is down and out. He's able to get back to his feet and get his stick back. Lamb. Stick handles his way into the right faceoff dot. He'll play catch with Bunch. Lamb and Bunch still playing catch. Collision on the side. A Tennessee player is down. Tried the backdoor feed there to Donovan. That shot deflected high and into the netting. And now Tennessee's coaching staff starting to get into it over on the bench. Well, we saw High Point's head coach thrown out, and there are eyes on that bench for sure.
100%. This is the kind of passion, is the way that I'll put it kindly, that is dangerous to play around with at this point in the game, especially with it being as close as it is and as late as it is.
And where you could hear everything at this point. Taken away by the Chanticleers. Out with it is Cole. Shouldered off. Tennessee regains control. Here comes that power play that we talked about. Big hit in the corner. Loose puck. Tennessee able to keep it for the moment. 2:10 to go. It's feathered back on net, and Weinkauf will cover with 16 seconds left on the 4-minute slashing double minor to Weeks.
And a note, coming back from the trainer's table is Luke Krupa for Coastal, so they are back at full health in this one.
Folks will take the face-off for the Chanticleers. 2:08 left in regulation. Face-off won by the Ice Vols. King, the captain, tries to feed it out. It's off the stick of Folks and knocked down at his own blue line. Back come the Chanticleers with the lead and go. Through one in front, high and wide. Weeks is back out, and he immediately makes his presence felt, knocking Barley down from behind. And go. On the forehand to the backhand, back to the forehand. And go. Slung down, and out come the Ice Vols. 1:30 left in regulation. The Chanticleers trying to pull off the comeback. Weeks tried to step through, take it away. King has it now. King in the slot. Trying to weave his way in front. That shot was blocked. Puck is still loose. Feathered on behind. Tried to get it on the back door. Schoenbrunn a shot. Save, rebound, loose in front. And it's tipped away. Williams spectacular. Got one, not two stops. Back in is King. Cross ice. Carlisle had his stick tied up. 55 seconds left. When do you pull the goalie? Lamb couldn't get a stick on it. Schoenbrunn. Lamb to King.
Weinkauf's going out.
To the point, Lamb, a wrister, and it's covered with the pads on a two-pad stacked by Williams on the wrister from the point with 41 seconds left. And I believe Coastal just called their timeout. We admitted to catch our breath here. Whew. What a turn of events we're witnessing here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, Graham Tuck.
If you're wondering why we talked earlier today about why we're so excited that club hockey is back and back in Winston-Salem, this is why. This is the kind of game that we see day in and day out from these players. It's just exciting. It's exciting to watch. I'm sure for the players it's exciting to be a part of. And for us, it's the most fun that we're ever going to have in a broadcast booth.
You want to add more fun to it. As you said, Virginia Tech automatically advances to the championship game. They haven't played a game yet. Their first game, they'll get a shot at the Commissioner's Cup against the Ice Packer, going for a three-peat of NC State. So that'll be interesting to say the least, but it's an odd sports year, and that just adds to it. Coastal Carolina has come back from the dead to take a 7-6 lead with 41 seconds left in regulation. Kings in the faceoff dot. Top offensive players out there for the Ice Vols. Their net is empty. Here's Lamb. To the left to Carlisle, and he's hit from behind. No call. Lamb. Yes, they do it. Well, okay, we do get a call now. I thought it had to happen. That's the third time that Compton has gone with an elbow. I mean, he just slung Carlisle to the ground. They're going to get him for a cross check, but that was more, flexing the elbow pad into the kidney of Carlisle than anything else.
However you want to call it, it's certainly a penalty, and it's a big one because now Tennessee can play 6-on-4.
Tennessee can't play 6-on-4. The net is empty. It's chipped out by Coastal. Gerster going after it. The clock never started. The clock never started. We're still playing. What is going on? Now the clock goes. King's shot tipped wide. Held in by Lamb. And now we get a whistle as... Wait a minute.
They called it.
That's it. The game's over. The game is over. The Chanticleers have won.
Tennessee doesn't know that the clock never started. Oh my goodness.
What in the wide, wide world of sports just happened?
I've been watching sports my entire life. I've never seen this.
This is unbelievable, and this might be the quickest handshake line we ever see, because I guarantee you Tennessee isn't happy about it. Graham, how do you sum this one up? That's right, you don't.
You can't. The simple answer is that you can't. What Okay, so if you want to go back, if you really want to go back to where this all turned around, it all starts with the 5-minute major that was assessed.
Turning
Eric
point.
Ballhart. Yes, total turning point. Just a completely unnecessary spear on the near side boards in the defensive zone for Tennessee. That got him tossed. He's in the box for 5 minutes. That was, he had a representative that was Weeks that was in the box for him. So the 5-minute major penalty turns into 3 power play goals for the Chanticleers. They were down 6-2, lead cut to 1, score 6-5 after that. And at that point, it was already over because Coastal had all the momentum they could possibly ask for. And then going forward from that, they used that momentum. They get the tying goal, scored from Gentile, and he, in his own right, has had an incredible game. You've got to give him at least one of the stars of the game if we were to assign them. And then beyond that, the winning goal finally scored. And then the clock never starting once Tennessee was up 6-4 in the last 20-some seconds of the game, 27 seconds. 12 seconds passed. They never started the clock. They don't call time to adjust it and stop the play. Instead, they let the play go on and end the game with time left on the clock. I've never seen it. Never seen anything like this in my life.
You had to throw in the clock thing as if things weren't more wild than they were at that point. You had to throw in the clock not starting. It felt like there was some quirk or kink missing.
Yeah. And when we saw the puck get cleared towards the empty net by Coastal, we saw their bench going crazy. At first, I thought they were
clamming for a penalty or something.
I thought that they were just excited that they had dumped the puck.
Well, that was the other thing, because if you look back at that, Gerstner was forechecking and he had an opportunity. I thought they were just excited for the empty netter. But
exactly, and I thought that's what it was too. After coming back from down 4, how can you blame them? And then going into that, you see that the clock never started. It just unreal. That's the only way to call it.
Some final stats for you. Coastal Carolina outshoots Tennessee 38-36. And first star, I believe, would have to go to Griffin Williams.
Phenomenal. Entering the game 3.5 minutes in, already down 3-1. Just unbelievable. He let in 3 in the second period. So what? He had unbelievable defense in front of him.
And he wasn't even the starter.
No, he was not. He was handed a 2-goal deficit when he came in, and he adjusted to it phenomenally. And so with this, that means that Tennessee is going to play against High Point for the 3rd time this season tomorrow, 12:30 p.m., and then the winner of that game will advance to the semis.
So reiterate this for us one more time. Again, all games will be here.
Yes,
on the Coastal Carolina YouTube. Wow, High Point University Hockey YouTube.
I can't blame it. They own everything in this building right now. All of the games will be here on our YouTube channel, High Point University Hockey, starting 12:30 p.m. High Point and Tennessee, and then ECU and Liberty and Coastal await the victor of that game in the late games. Those matchups still to be determined, but don't forget, in between the play-in game between High Point and Tennessee and the semifinals, we have a great, exciting women's hockey matchup between Virginia Tech and NC State. You won't want to miss that one.
So one more time, ECU and Liberty are in the semifinals.
As are Coastal Carolina.
That's confirmed.
Yes.
Coastal Carolina is in the semifinals. That is confirmed. High Point and Tennessee at 12:30.
Yes.
The women's game to follow. Then the semifinals.
And we have no idea what the matchups will be after that.
If you didn't need enough proof that Oral Roberts beating Ohio State proved to you that it was March, you got it tonight. Chanticleers 7-6. They come back from the grave. The Undertaker meme. Bring it out. Put a Chanticleer head over it. Somebody meme it. Chanticleers win it 7-6. They move on to the semifinals. We'll see you tomorrow for more frenetic hockey action here for the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex.